In this video, we're going to talk about isotopes. Now, instead of giving you a definition, I'm going to illustrate it with an example. Consider carbon-12 and carbon-13. These two substances are isotopes of each other. As you can see, isotopes are composed of the same element. Both of these atoms, they're carbon atoms, so chemically speaking, they react the same way. Now, the number that you see here is the mass number. Carbon-12 has an atomic number of 6. The same is true for carbon-13. The atomic number of an element identifies the element. So carbon will always have an atomic number of 6. So Z represents the atomic number. So when you look at a periodic table, you're going to see two numbers. The smaller of the two numbers is the atomic number, and the larger of the two values is the mass number. So isotopes, they're composed of the same element. In this example, both isotopes are elemental carbon. If the elements are different, then you don't have an isotope. Isotopes also have the same atomic number because the element is the same. However, they differ in the mass number. So isotopes will always have different mass numbers. Now the question is why? The answer lies in the nucleus of the atom. The nucleus of an isotope, or of two isotopes, are different. It's not the same. The atomic number tells us the number of protons. The mass number is the sum of the protons and the neutrons. So both carbon-12 and carbon-13 have an atomic number of 6. So therefore, the number of protons is 6. The number of electrons will be the same. It's 6 as well. For a neutral atom, the number of protons and electrons are equal to each other. Now, the number of neutrons, to find it, subtract the mass number by the atomic number. 12 minus 6 is 6. So carbon-12 has 6 neutrons. Carbon-13 has 13 minus 6, or 7 neutrons. So the reason why the mass number is different is because the number of neutrons are different. And so isotopes, they have the same chemical properties because they're composed of the same elements, but they exhibit different nuclear properties. Some isotopes are not active on a nuclear level, while others emit radiation. Some are harmless, some are harmful. So the nuclear properties are different, but the chemical properties are the same. So if you're studying for a test, here are some key facts that you want to remember. Isotopes are always composed of the same element. So remember that the element can't be different. It has to be the same element. Isotopes are similar to each other in that they have the same atomic number. And as a result, they share the same number of protons. Isotopes differ from each other because their mass numbers are different. They have different mass numbers, and also they have different numbers of neutrons. So remember that isotopes, they have the same number of protons, same atomic number, and they're composed of the same element. But they have different mass numbers and different numbers of neutrons. And isotopes share the same chemical properties, but they differ in nuclear properties. Their nucleus behave differently because the number of neutrons is different, which exists in the nucleus. So those are some key ideas that you want to keep in mind when dealing with isotopes. So let's work on a few questions that will test your knowledge on isotopes.